You absolutely love to hear this, with multiple Vancouver Canucks speaking to the media on key details on how next season will be completely different from last year, and this will have fans absolutely raving. We're going to break down these quotes from the Canucks stars, including Elias Pettersson, Brock Boeser, and Tyler Myers, and exactly how these details completely change the outlook of this Canucks team heading into training camp. We're going to break down all of this and so much more later on this episode. Before we get into that, if you're part of the 57.8% watching this and you haven't hit the sub button yet, but you want to stay up to date on everything to do around the Vancouver Canucks, listen, we have the Prospect Showcase coming up this weekend, and we're going to give you complete coverage on that. Trades, rumors, reports, anything you can think of, you can catch right here on Canucks Digest. So if that sounds good to you, go down and hit that free subscribe button. It helps out a ton, and in return, we'll give you daily updates. But with that, let's just get straight into it today, where we did see a lot of Vancouver Canucks players speaking to the media ahead of their golf tournaments. Now with this, we know the charity event, the 41st Jake Milford Invitational, the Canucks had a lot to say to the media as they're finally all getting back. Now we've seen some clips of them being on training camp. We've seen a lot of guys getting on ice for early workouts, but we do get a quote from Elias Pettersson. We'll get into Brock and Tyler Myers, but he does go in to say, obviously, I feel good. It's been a long summer, so I just try to add some muscle and be ready to be myself again. And I feel confident that I will. I had a long summer of training and it's been good. Now the big thing with this is Pettersson has been completely healthy this summer. He has started his training a lot earlier. We've seen the videos coming out. We've seen what his training coach went out to say this is the biggest and strongest they have ever seen him. And listen, Pettersson had put on weight. We've seen from Brendan, he goes out to say that Pettersson said he put on 6 kilos this summer, which is just over 13 pounds. So Pettersson adding muscle with a full healthy offseason with no distractions going into the year. This is all signs pointing towards getting the superstar back into form. Now this gets me fired up alone, but going even further into it, Tyler Myers spoke on Pettersson and said he looks a lot different physically, even this first week, and we've been here. So I'm excited for him, not even just for Petey. I think it's important for everyone in the room to realize that everyone's here for each other. Now we know there was a lot of noise around the Vancouver Canucks last season from the media, from what was happening internally. There was a lot to look at, and this team was not playing at full strength. We've seen multiple injuries. We've seen Pettersson go down with an injury. We've seen Quinn Hughes hurt. Thatcher Demko missing a lot of time, but with the drama around this team going into this, I love this quote from Tyler Myers. Listen, Tyler Myers has been a huge leader. We're seeing reports coming out the second Abbotsford won. Tyler Myers congratulated the entire team. We're seeing him make it very clear that everyone's here for each other. This is what you need out of a leader. And listen, if Quinn wasn't captain, give Tyler Myers one. And listen, don't take it from Quinn, but there is a lot of leadership in this group, and I think it's very underrated how much leadership that we've seen Patrik Allvin and Jim Rutherford bring into the system. Marcus Pettersson's another guy, apparently an awesome locker room guy. This team is going to start gelling well, and I like how the leaders are taking over. Now, with Pettersson coming back, we need to see a bounce back here. We're going to. I'm willing to bet on this. Pettersson had a down year, 45 points in 64 games, with the years previous over a point per game, 102 points. Just 3 seasons ago, with Pettersson healthy, with him adding on weight, this is where we're going to see him get back into form, and I think that's going to tip the Canucks over the edge so much more when they go on their hunt to not only make the playoffs, but contend for a chip. And listen, yes, they still need to add some things to this roster, but overall, things are starting to look up a lot for the Canucks, and I couldn't be more excited. Now, we've seen Brock Boeser speak as well. I just wanted to be here for the start, so I'm super excited and really happy I can just focus on hockey now. Now, the big thing with a lot of these quotes, looking into them, people are talking about how there was a lot of distractions last year. There was a lot of injuries. A healthy Canucks team is a top team in the West. And listen, I'm not going to say they're going to go out and win the President's Trophy, but there is a chance that they're going to make a deep run or a huge push during this playoff hunt, as they have a lot of talent that's finally healthy, back in their mojo, and also playing at a high caliber. Now, Brock Boeser, and listen, all this will be linked down below. The Canucks social media shared a bunch of this as well. But Brock spoke on how hard it was, not only last year, but going into the contract. He said something of going to Croatia. He was on vacation, and he doesn't recommend doing this in the middle of contract negotiations, as that's all he could talk on. But we've seen Petey go into detail and even say the second Brock signed, he messaged him and said, "Thank you. This is one of his closest friends, and the bond this team is building is underrated when you're looking around the league with everyone kind of having huge turnovers on their roster. Now, going into this, we know Brock signed 7 years, $7.25 million. Brock Boeser is going to retire a Canuck, and this is what the team is building. They're building chemistry within their group that's ready for the push. Now, the big thing is we've seen Tyler Myers speak a bunch as well. He had a quote on Pettersson. He spoke on Evander Kane. I think Kaner is going to help a lot. He brings a lot to our group. Playing with him at the World Juniors and the Worlds, I know what he can bring. He is going to bring in a physical edge to this top six that the Canucks kind of missed since JT Miller left. Adding in Evander Kane this offseason, even Kiefer Sherwood last offseason, this Canuck team is becoming a heavy style with Pettersson putting more weight on. That's going to be hard for a lot of teams to match up against. And I do love, once again, how much Tyler Myers is really leading into this leadership role. Listen, we're seeing some of the best hockey we've seen from him some time, but he also goes in. You know, there was a lot that went on in the last 18 months. In a way, for sure, you look at it a little bit like a fresh start. I think it's important we keep growing the culture that we want to build here. What do we want our room to be like? What kind of team do we want to be on and off the ice? Once again, really leaning into this team getting a fresh start. Last year was a down year. Let's be honest. Missing the playoffs by what, 6-7 points? It felt like a lot more, but this Canucks team fought until then, dealing through injuries, going through adversity. They dealt with everything, but still want to go into the season not only hungry, but with a chip on their shoulder, wanting to make a push. Now, the big thing with this Canucks team, I know a lot of people, and myself included, maybe you do need to bolster the center position a bit, but that is going to be so hard. I did a full video on that where Elliot Friedman said it would be like Patrik Allvin pulling a rabbit out of the hat if they can get a trade done. But the biggest thing with this Canucks team and what pushes them aside a lot of other teams, it's how strong and beefy this back end is in front of a healthy Thatcher Demko. Once again, the health situation, and Kevin Lankinen, a healthy backup goaltender. Now, with both them going in, you have a great blue line. You're adding an elite talent. Marcus Pettersson, a full season with this team. Filip Hronek and Quinn Hughes, completely healthy. Tyler Myers, Derek Forbort, who also dealt with injuries. D. Petey, and you also have Tom Willner and Victor Mancini. Canucks fans, listen, I'm not going to sugarcoat that last season was a very big down year for this Canucks team. We all watched it. We all cheer for this team. We're all excited for Canucks hockey to be back. But with the way this team is talking, they're not just going into the season, hey, we're going to make a bigger push. We're going to try harder. They're giving exact reasons on how this is going to change, from team chemistry being better, from a healthy season with players showing in the workout like Pettersson going out, more muscle, 8 kilograms, 6 kilograms, whatever. A lot of weight to put on. This team is slowly building something incredible, and this is why fans should be fired up for Canucks hockey to be back. Not only when training camp, we have the prospect tournament, which we're going to cover and have a video on tomorrow as well, but this team is priming for something big with Patrik Allvin, knowing he needs to add. This year is going to be a big season. It could be a break or make or break year. But Canucks fans, what is your thoughts on this? Go down and leave a comment on all the comments from these Canucks players today. And speaking of comments, let's get into comments of the day, where Jellyfish said, do not give up young talent for an aging center. Give Filip Hronek or a rookie a chance. Listen, I do agree with this. Filip Hronek could go in and become a 70, 80-point player. Yes, health, once again, the word that flies around the Canucks, is a big dictator. But the thing with Filip Hronek is we know how good of a player driver he is. When healthy, he is an awesome center. So if he can be a productive center on this Canucks team, maybe you don't need to move assets out to get someone. Aturatu, a young center as well, ready to break in. This Canucks team is going to be fun. You cannot deny that. Even with the haters of this team, you can't deny that this team is going to go out, make a statement every single night, and it all relies on the big guns bouncing back. But Canucks fans, go down and leave a comment down below on anything we spoke of this, any prospects you want us to cover, anything at all. We love reading through it, and plus you could be on comments today and get your name there as well. But while you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back with another episode. And listen, keep the positive up, fans. We know this season's going to be fun. Go down and leave your favorite memory from last year. What you think your favorite memory is. The hoist being lifted, cup, hoist, whatever, in the comments down below. But that'd be it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I've been your host, Mark Pye, and take care, Canucks fans. I can't stay serious some days.